I never planned to crash land on a battlefield. My shuttle wasn't even supposed to enter the Vuran Expanse, a region known among human explorers as the place where starships go to die. Yet a single micrometeor punched through my hull, and before I could stabilize rotation, I was plummeting toward the surface of Reth'kaar, a planet renowned for two things: violence, and the people who were very, very good at it. The impact didn't kill me, but it made sure I wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. I had maybe half a day of sunlight left when I crawled from the wreck, dragging a twisted survival pack with me. The terrain stretched out in endless plains of sapphire-colored grass, swaying in winds heavy with metallic dust. And, on the horizon movement, a silhouette, tall, armored, and unmistakably non-human, strode confidently toward me. My pulse spiked. I had read about them in xenobiological logs. The Khelari, warrior race, tribal honor-bound, deadly. Every instinct screamed run. But my legs didn't agree. They barely worked. The armored figure stepped into a patch of fading sunlight, and the glinting details of her armor snapped into clarity. She was taller than any human woman, built in a way that suggested coiled strength beneath ceremonial plates marked with glowing patterns. She removed her helmet. That was the first shock, because the face beneath wasn't the savage creature I had expected. She looked fierce, yes, but intelligent. Eyes like molten silver, pupils contracting like a beast's, skin a deep indigo with faint bioluminescent markings tracing her cheekbones. And her expression, initially sharp, softened when she saw my injuries. "You're not Khelari," she said. Her voice was deeper than a human's, resonant, controlled. "And you're bleeding." I swallowed. "Yeah, well, crashing a ship tends to do that." She stared at me for a long moment, assessing, evaluating. Then she stepped forward, knelt with surprising gentleness, and said, "I am Sethara of the Stormbound clans. You will not die here, human." Without another word, she lifted me over her shoulder with effortless ease and carried me toward a cluster of jagged rock formations rising from the plains. I didn't know it then, but that was the moment my fate became tied to hers. Middle, bonds forged in fire and danger. Sethara's shelter was a carved-out cavern reinforced with crystalline plates. She laid me down on a bed of woven pelts and immediately tore open my survival pack. When she found my medical kit, she examined it briefly, then pulled a tiny blade from her belt. "Your blood flows too quickly. I must close the wound." "That's not a human closure tool." "Do you trust me?" she asked, steady silver eyes meeting mine. I didn't. Not fully. But what choice did I have? "I guess I have to." Her lips twitched in something that might have been a smile. "Good." She pressed the edge of her blade near the wound, triggering a soft blue glow. Heat radiated from it, not painful, but warm, soothing. The bleeding stopped almost instantly. Khelari tech. Impressive. Over the next few hours, she treated my injuries, boiled water, prepared a strange but edible broth, and kept watch at the entrance of the cave. Even when she sat, her posture was alert, like she expected death to walk in at any moment. It wasn't until night had deepened and 2 moons hung above the plains that she finally spoke again. "You are far from home," she said. "Yeah. I was on a mapping mission. One wrong turn." "One wrong turn," she echoed quietly. Fate works strangely. There was something behind her tone, not sadness, exactly, but something close. "Why were you out here?" I asked. She hesitated. Her hand brushed the crest carved into her armor, 3 parallel lines crossed by a single diagonal slash. I left my clan." "You were exiled?" "No." A bitter laugh escaped her. "I left on purpose." "Why?" She looked at the moons for a long time before answering. for refusing a command that would have ended innocent lives. My clan did not appreciate my compassion. That surprised me. Everything I had read about Khelari portrayed them as ruthless. "You saved me," I said quietly. Her silver eyes flicked toward me. "You were helpless. Even a warrior respects that." She didn't elaborate, but in the silence that followed, I realized something. Sethara wasn't the stereotype. She wasn't the monster humans feared. She was something else entirely. And for reasons I couldn't understand yet, she was alone. Part 2. Threats on the horizon. We traveled together for 2 days across the plains, heading toward a rumored ancient relay station where I might send a distress signal. Sethara moved with quiet confidence, scanning the surroundings constantly. The plains weren't empty. At dusk on the second day, she suddenly stopped and raised a hand. "Down," she whispered. I dropped immediately. She crouched beside me, eyes narrowing. Through the grass, shadows moved, 4 of them, low to the ground. "Sleek. Predatory. Khelari warhounds," she murmured. "Not wild. Controlled by clan hunters." "Are they dangerous? To you?" Her jaw tightened. "Yes." Before I could react, she grabbed my arm and pulled me behind a ridge of glimmering stone. The hounds moved in coordinated patterns, sniffing the wind. "Searching. For you," she said softly. "They are tracking me." "Why?" "My clan wants me back," she replied. "Or dead. Either works for them." She turned her head, her luminous face close enough that I could feel her breath. "I will protect you, but you must not run." I wasn't planning to. Her hand tightened briefly on my forearm. A silent agreement. The hounds came too close for comfort. Sethara moved like lightning, her blade flickering blue as she swiped it through the air, sending an arc of charged energy slamming into the ground. The resulting shockwave scattered the hounds, forcing them to retreat. But the attack proved one thing. Sethara wasn't safe. And neither was I. Part 3. Under the Shattered Sky. We reached the old relay station on the evening of the 3rd day, a towering ancient structure half buried in sand, its crystalline antennas pointing like broken fingers at the sky. "Will it work?" she asked as I began connecting my portable transmitter. "With luck." Sethara nodded slowly. "I will hold the entrance." "You don't have to guard me every second," I told her. Her expression shifted, a flicker of something unresolved. "Yes, I do." Before I could question that, the console beeped to life. A faint connection, unstable but present. I transmitted a short distress message. But before I could send another, the entire structure trembled. Sethara, in one swift motion, pulled me away from the console and shoved me behind her as the shadows of at least 10 armored Khelari appeared at the entrance. They were massive, towering warriors armed with spears crackling with plasma edges. The one in front stepped forward, removing his helmet. His face bore the same bioluminescent marks as Sethara, but harsher, colder.